Here are 10 fun facts about grapes you can listen to in English. Now, let's get started. Cotton candy grapes. Did you know there is a fruit that tastes just like candy? The cotton candy grape is a special type of grape that tastes a lot like the sweet candy you can buy at a festival. This grape was made by people in the United States who grow new kinds of plants. They did not change the grape's genes in a lab. Instead, they made it by mixing different kinds of grapes together for more than 10 years. Making this grape was a very long process. The growers created thousands of different test grapes. From all of these, they had to carefully choose only the very best ones. They were looking for grapes that had two things: a very high sugar level and a special taste like vanilla. By picking only the grapes with this specific flavor and sweetness, they finally succeeded in making the cotton candy grape.
A surprising smell. Do you know the nice, fruity smell of Sauvignon Blanc wine? It might be a surprise, but this smell comes from a chemical that is also found in cat urine. This chemical is called 4-MMP. In the wine, it is one of the main things that creates the special fruity smell that people enjoy. So why does this chemical smell good in wine but bad in other situations? The reason is the amount of it. In wine, there is only a very small amount of 4-MMP, so our brains think it smells nice and fruity. But if there were a lot more of it, the smell would change completely to a bad animal smell. The amount of a chemical is very important for how we think it smells. A sweet-smelling grape. Do you know about a grape that smells like flowers? There is a special white grape called Gewürztraminer. It is famous for its sweet smell. Its name means spice in the German language. When you make wine from this grape, it has a very strong, nice smell. It can smell like flowers, like roses, or fruits like lychees. Some people say it even smells a little like ginger. This is because the grape has a lot of special things inside that create these smells. It has more of these than other grapes. Because the smell is so special, people don't forget it easily. However, there are some difficult things about this grape. Because the smell and taste are so strong, it is sometimes hard to enjoy it with food. The grape's flavor can be stronger than the food's flavor. Also, this grape is very sweet, but it is not very sour. Winemakers must be careful when they grow it. If the wine is not sour enough, it can taste too heavy. It is not easy to make good wine from this grape, so winemakers need to have a lot of skill. A smart idea for grapes. Did you know that many grape plants are made of two different parts? Here is the reason why. A long time ago, in the 1800s, a small insect came from America to Europe. This insect was a big problem for the grape farms in Europe. The European grape plants could not fight this insect. The insect ate the roots of the grape plants, and the plants died. Many grape farms in Europe lost all their plants. People were worried they could not make wine anymore. But they found a smart idea. American grape plants had strong roots that the insect did not like, so farmers put the top part of European plants on the American roots. This idea saved the wine farms in Europe. It was a great success. However, some people think this is not a perfect solution. They say that wine from these plants with two parts tastes a little different. They believe that the American roots change the taste of the European grapes. They feel that grapes grown on their own original roots have a better, more natural taste. There are a few very old farms that the insect did not attack. This was because the farms had sandy ground, and the insect cannot live in sand. Wine from these old plants is very special. The smell of muscat. Do you know the secret of the special sweet smell of muscat grapes? Many people think it is a simple fruit smell, but its name tells us something more. The word muscat is believed to come from musk, a strong smell used in perfume. This idea is very old. A Roman writer, Pliny the Elder, wrote about a grape with a musk-like smell that bees really liked. This means that people have found this wonderful smell interesting for hundreds of years. However, this does not mean the grapes smell just like animal musk. Today, scientists know that the muscat smell comes from things like linalool and geraniol. These are the same things that help give roses and lemons their nice smells. So it is better to think that long ago, people used the word musk for any strong, nice smell that was more than just sweet. They were not saying it smelled exactly like the animal product.
A surprising trick. Can you imagine a law that accidentally taught people how to break it? This really happened in the United States in the 1920s, a time when selling alcohol was not allowed. Grape farmers found a clever way around the rule. They started to sell hard blocks of strong grape juice called wine bricks. They were sold to make juice that had no alcohol, but the box had a special warning. Be careful. Do not put this brick in water and leave it in a dark place for 21 days because it will become wine. This idea saved many grape farmers from losing their farms. In fact, the number of farms growing wine grapes grew during those years. You might think this is how the big grape juice companies started. However, famous companies like Welch's were already popular before that time. A more important result was that these bricks helped people make wine in their own houses. This kept the skill of winemaking alive and helped the wine business grow back quickly after the law was ended.
The Queen of Grapes. Did you know that some grapes can sell for over $100? In Japan, the muscat of Alexandria is a very special and expensive fruit. It is often called the Queen of Grapes. People like it because it has large green berries and a nice sweet taste, so it is a popular gift. But growing these grapes is not easy. They are weak and need a lot of care. In Okayama, farmers grow them in special greenhouses. They carefully cut each bunch by hand so they have the perfect shape and size. However, the idea that this grape is an expensive fruit for eating is mostly found only in Japan. In other countries that grow a lot of it, like Spain, Italy, and Australia, people think about this grape differently. There, it is usually grown outside in big fields. It is mainly used to make things like sweet wine and raisins that are not expensive. The Japanese way of growing them, which needs a lot of work, is very unusual in other places. It shows that Japan has a special fruit culture. A ban on UFOs. Can you imagine a town with a law against UFOs? It sounds like a movie, but it's true in a famous French village called Châteauneuf-du-Pape, which makes wine. In 1954, the village made a rule. This rule did not allow flying saucers to fly or land in the village. This law is real and was never canceled, so it is still a rule today. It is one of the strangest laws about a place that makes wine. But this strange rule was not made because the village saw a UFO. The real reason was much simpler. In the 1950s, many people around the world were excited about seeing UFOs. The mayor of the village had an idea. He used people's interest to get attention for his village by making this funny rule. It worked very well. Newspapers and TV from all over the world talked about the village. This helped many people learn about the village and its wine. The law was not about danger from space. It was about making the village famous. Grapes that taste like the sea. Did you know there is a wine that tastes a little salty, like the sea? This unique wine is made from a white grape called a Certico, which grows on the Greek island of Santorini. The wine is famous around the world because its flavor is so different. Along with a fresh, crisp taste, it has a clear flavor of salt and minerals. This special taste comes from the island's ground and the sea breezes that blow across the vineyards. Many people love this surprising and refreshing flavor. So, how can these grapes grow in such a special place? The island of Santorini is a difficult environment for plants, with strong winds and very little rain. To protect the grapes, farmers use an old, traditional method. They weave the grape plants into the shape of a low, round basket called a kalura. This basket shape keeps the grapes safe from the wind and helps them collect water from the cool morning air, allowing them to grow well even in this harsh place.
Japan's Lost Grape. Have you ever eaten the Japanese grape called Shine Muscat? It's famous for being very sweet and easy to eat. Although it was created in Japan, a big problem has come up. Today, other countries like South Korea and China grow and sell a lot of Shine Muscat grapes, and they have become major competitors. Because of this, Japan has lost the chance to make a lot of money from its own successful creation. Japan cannot ask these countries for money or tell them to stop, and this has become a serious issue for Japanese farmers. You might wonder why this happened. The reason is a mistake in protecting the idea. When Japan created the grape, it did not register it in other countries within the time limit set by international rules. To protect a new plant variety overseas, you must register it within a few years. Some people say this was not a simple mistake, but that the international rules were too complex and expensive for the public organizations that developed the grape.